Hey guys, welcome back to another Asherons Call video. Decided to make real quick. Um, so the last few days, New World has released, and I've been playing a little bit of that. Uh, well, I've been waiting in queue for 95% of the time, as most people have, who's been trying to play New World. Um, but so my last video, I'm playing my solo self buff guy that I've been playing with him here and there, and I am actually at level 101. So this video, I kind of wanted to address the playstyle of Asheron's Call today. I mean, it's not like it's completely different back whenever it was actually a live service by by the company before they took it offline, and but there are a couple of things that are different that I don't remember having back in the day whenever I used to play back when it was live. But it's kind of at a at a pass is where how do you want to play the game? How do I actually feel about the game now? It's the community is great. Let me get that. Community is one of the biggest things in Asheron's Call, as far as most small games. The communities and niche games are probably the best communities that you can find in any genre. I mean, to be honest, I mean, if you find a game that has a couple hundred people playing, maybe it's a really tight knit community. People are always there to help out somebody. I don't see any toxicity. You don't see any, you know, there might be a little trolling here and there, but usually, it's it's like some of the greatest communities you can ever be in as far as a niche game. So it's kind of weird when you're playing as a solo self found and solo self buff. A lot of people are kind of, a lot of people support it. They're like, what do you mean solo self bound? You're not using buff bots? How are you not using buff bots? I've had people, offer me multiple times when I come across, or if they even just see me running around, they're like, "Hey, you want this?" or "Hey, I got this stuff. You want this?" And I try to be as polite because it's not just something that people just come across a lot in Asheron's Call nowadays. And I'd be polite, and I'm like, I really appreciate the help, but the playstyle of my character, I can't accept handouts. But I do appreciate it, and that's what I tell everybody. I'm always appreciative for anybody helping or trying to give me any kind of information and stuff as far as playing the game, or maybe taking me through a quest, which I really haven't done any quest yet. I've just been, doing my grinding or whatever. But that's when I come to find out that it's how much am I actually playing the game? And some of these things that have come out nowadays, as far as something that I really don't remember myself using back whenever it was live, was Metaphiles. Um, so Metaphiles are, so you have VTank, right? Which is a macro system, which was around way, way, way long ago. It's not anything new. Everybody used it. It's whatever. You can set up a path for your character to run itself through, a set path through a dungeon or something like that, or while you go, farm XP and stuff like that, or having a loot system available, a loot filter as far as what exactly you're interested in, and workmanship of items for salvage and the types of weapons you need, and stuff like that. It's always been around. The way Asheron Calls plays, if you don't use macros, you're going to be spending 95% of your time looking through loot and trying to decide exactly if you want, because you got to kill the character, loot the character, and you got to, it's not like you can actually see what it is just by looking at it most of the time. You actually got to right click on it. You got to read it. Oh, there's a value. Oh, there's a burden. What is the cover and the armor levels and slashing levels. I mean, you just got, and you got to go through and you just got to right click or right click. You'll just be spending so much time, and it's not like. And in Asherons Call, it's not like you're going to kill a monster or two and you're going to be able to... No, most times in Asherons Call, you're killing 20 to 30 monsters at a time. Well, I mean, not at a time, but you can get a very large group of monsters while you're farming XP in dungeons and stuff like that. And so you'll just have, like, when you're killing things and whatnot, you'll just have like a circle of corpses around you, and it can get very overwhelming as far as which corpses you've already looted, which corpses are, whatever. And so, that's kind of a good thing with VTank. It kind of streamlines the looting system and stuff like that. It does take out a lot of the physical playing of the game with the pathing and stuff like that, the auto pathing and creating your own pathing files, so that way you can, whichever dungeon or stuff that you're going into, that you can, just let your guy run and do its thing. If you want to go take a nap or even let your guy run during the night, which I've been doing, whenever I was playing it, almost every day for like a week or something like that, I'd play whatever. I'd do my daily quest for XP turn-ins, and I'd play for a little bit, chat for a little bit or whatever. And then when it's time for bed, I just go set my guy at the dungeon, the highest dungeon that he can actually go to, and farm, farm better, the best farming without having to use up a whole bunch of comps or having to use a whole bunch of healing kits and stuff like that, and stamina potions or whatever, cast stamina. But so we are going to get into Metaphiles. I'm going to try to keep this a little bit short. We are carrying on a little bit long, so we're going to try to keep this speed this up just a little bit. So Metaphiles are in VTank as far as it's kind of like a macro, but it's like macros on steroids. They have stuff that will key you for, I forgot what the term for it is, that will get you flagged. There you go. That will flag you for certain stuff, and all this kind of stuff. But they also have Metaphiles that will run through your daily XP turn-ins for you, and it will run through like 20 dungeons. It will run through 20 different dungeons literally without me touching the keyboard. It will pick up the specific trophy items that I need to turn in for the XP quest. It will kill the mobs. It will loot the mobs according to my loot filter and what I want. It will run to the place where the trophy drops from a certain monsters or mobs or whatever. And then as soon as whatever it gets to the final destination point in the dungeon, whereas usually where the trophy drops, it will automatically, they have Metaphiles that automatically take you to the very next dungeon. It will run you to the next dungeon. It will turn off your combat, so that way while you're running to the next dungeon, it doesn't do anything, instead of just running to the dungeon and stuff like that. So I want to show you a Metaphile real quick. I want to try to do, I guess, one of the few Tusker ones or whatever, and we'll just see what happens. So we're gonna go to profiles right here. So this is my, I guess, my monarch, or allegiance or whatever. This is their Metaphile that they supply to everybody in the allegiance, and it has a whole bunch of different commands you can do for flagging and for dailies and stuff like that. And yeah, so this is my loot filter that I have. I'm not going to have no navigation, because it'll load its own navigation files, and stuff like that. So we got our buffing enabled, our combat enabled, navigation, looting enabled meta, right? So we are going to uh okay, we're gonna run the macro. And of course I gotta buff up. So this is like, it casts everything that fucking, why am I casting fives? Oh, okay. I'm casting sixes and it's taking over for some fives. Okay. So, this is what it is. I mean, you sit here and you do your buffing and it does it for you. And, whenever you run out of mana and stamina, it'll revitalize your mana. It'll use up your stamina right there, see? And then it goes, oh, well, I need stamina now. So it'll take the little bit of mana, use up stamina, and it repeats the process to finish all the buffs. So I think this is actually going to take just a few minutes, guys. Sorry, I'm not going to edit this. I don't have any editing software right now. And, it's just what it's going to be right now. So while we're doing this, I'm going to go over my guy. So I have hit 350 base on my finesse weapon. I haven't done anything to arcane lore. I haven't searched for any items for, spells or anything like that. I think that's more of like end game stuff for major and minor spells. My creature is at 265 buffed. My items at 264 buffed. Life magic's 264 buffed. Magic defense is still kind of low. I'm going to be working on that here in a little bit, melee defense is at 405. I need to get that spec and the quest thing, attributes, I got everything up to like a 5 mil point distribution cost, except for my coordination and quickness and stuff like that, just because I wanted to get my finesse weapons up to 450 just so I can start, finding some better weapons to increase, go higher in dungeons or stuff like that. As far as what I've been doing since my last video, I really haven't got any better weapons. I got like this piercing one. I'm trying to get a fire rend. I want a 350 fire rend, but I have failed probably 10 to 15 fire rends, and I have blown up all the fire weapons that I've came across and looted since, whenever I've been running my macros or whatever, running my guy. And it sucks. It sucks. There really is. It's like no matter what workmanship the item is, no matter what workmanship the salvage is, you always are going to have like a 33% chance to successfully rend an item or something like that, or imbue an item. Except when you have what they call foolproof salvage, which is right now I believe on this server they don't really exist. They haven't. I don't know if they're doing like pre-patch stuff or whatever, and they're going to be moving forward like time lock servers, progression lock servers, or stuff like that. Okay, so the buffs are finished, right? So I can do this, right? I'm going to sit here. I'm going to do chat, exclamation point, tusks, right? That's the command to run the Tusker meta portion, the Tusker portion of the meta file. There we go. So I'm going to run tusks. It automatically uses my faculty hub gem to take me to the faculty hub, because as far as Tuskers, the very first few levels are in the Tuskers. See, it loads up the pathing profile, and it'll take me through here, open the doors, run down the stairs, turn through hallways, go into the lowest dungeon portal, and then it will run through the thing. And we're going to do this real quick. We're really going to go through the first dungeon, because there's no point in going through a couple of the other ones and whatnot. So it's here. Automatically uses the portal. We going through here. Wah, 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 wah. Sorry, I have sound effects turned off. If you played Asherons Call, it's The sound effects are so repetitive. I usually play music most of the time or watch YouTube, Netflix, or stuff like that. So let's see here. See, it loads up the pathing profile for the dungeon, runs down here, kills the monsters. I could turn off combat. Since this is the first dungeon, I can literally just turn off combat. Watch. I'll just turn off combat so that way my guy will just run. We're just going to pass all the mobs. Don't care about them. I really don't care about the trophies on these first two. So we're just going to run through this. We're going to let you see. We're going to run through this. See right here. This is the final point. That's where these monsters at that point should drop the trophy item. So it should have picked up the trophy item. And you can see in my chat, meta executing all set meta state Tusk to run. So now it's going to the command file to run the second Tusker dungeon. And so, and then that's what it is. And it's and so this is my thing with Asherons Call. I love the game so much, but so much of the game is AFK playing. I've people have told me now that it's not an official live server and it's only an emulator, so it's all private servers basically. They have, servers have their own rules. They have some servers that are 100% no macro, no nothing, or I don't think it's no macro or no AFK macroing or something. I'm not sure, but there's also, where they let you have multiple accounts running at the same time. I've heard people having up to 5 to 10 accounts running at the same time, running multiple characters, just spacing out one character in each freaking dungeon. And so that way you can that's all you're doing. You're just running dungeons on different characters. You find a dungeon that has a specific, a higher chance to drop this type of item. So that way you can salvage. You can find, you can get more salvage for, your rend items and stuff like that. But, it's kind of like, I don't know. I love the game so much. I do. I honestly do love Asherons Call and the way Asherons Call was made and stuff like that. It sucks that Asherons Call 2 was failed. I played Asherons Call 2. It was pretty horrible game. But it's just everything about the in and outs of the game, the allegiance system, the swearing to people, so that way if you have a patron or something like that, that way they'll help you out, and if you want they can give you items, and then in return you leveling your guy, you're giving your XP up to your patron, which then pyramids up and up and up and up all the way up to the top. And it's just the stat system and everything else like that. It is such a great I'm sorry, I'm so lost for words most of the times. It's such a great build of a game, great design of a game, I believe, that except for the fact of you have crazy amount of items and stuff like that and blah 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 blah. It's just yeah, I'm stuck. It's just what it is. So guys, this game is, I'm going to continue playing the game every so often now that New World and Diablo 2 Resurrected, even though I've only played that for a few days or whatever. That's another type of nostalgia game, just like Asherons Call. They're great games, but there's still a lot of flaws that keeps people from just what they call neckbearding through it. It is what it is. And I'm not faulting anybody for using Metaphiles. I mean, I use Metaphiles because I really don't feel like running through the dungeons and loading pathing files for each one. Of course, I have my own pathing files for these dungeons that I made myself before I started using the Metaphiles and stuff like that. And, so it is what it is, guys. I appreciate you checking out the video, and I appreciate you if you watched it this far. You know, I appreciate you so much. I don't know what videos I'm really going to do next. Maybe some New World, maybe some Diablo 2, maybe some of this. I got Space Punks. Space Punks is a new game I bought. Bought as in as part of you know what? I'm just so bad with wording. What do you mean? It's in early access, whatever. Early access. It's not a complete game. They're still doing updates on it and blah blah blah. Doing server wipes because they're changing stuff, and it's, you know, there's a few games that I have that I really want to kind of play here and there, you know, whatever. But then again, guys, it's still, the video is getting way too long right now, and so I'm just going to end it right here. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you again for watching the video. I appreciate you. I appreciate your time. And so yeah, I'll see you in the next video, whenever the next video is coming out. And yeah. Anyways, peace out.